So now let me get on to some topics, some terms, some definitions that you may come across in this particular chapter. The first term that you should be aware of is we have a linear distance. In a similar manner, we also have an angular displacement. Now, as the body moves from any point A to any point B on a circular path, and if you connect those 2 points with the center of the circle, then you will notice that that line which joins the center O of the circle to either the point A or the point B will represent the radius of the circle. And when the radius or the line joining the point O to point A changes from the line O to line B, you would have seen that it would have covered a certain angle. And this angle is known as angular displacement. Now, when you compare the linear velocity, you define that as a ratio of displacement and time. That is, velocity is equal to displacement upon time. In a similar fashion, see how easy it is. When you talk of angular velocity, you can straightaway replace the displacement by angular displacement, and the time remains as time itself. Therefore, angular displacement upon time will give you the angular velocity. Velocity, as you know, is equal to displacement upon time. Similar manner, angular velocity equal to angular displacement upon time. The unit of velocity is meters per second. The unit of angular velocity is equal to radians per second. You must have seen in many of your motorbikes or in scooters the word RPM written somewhere on the advertisements. So this RPM would mean rotations per minute. That would mean as to how many times does the wheel reach the start position after covering one complete rotation. If it covers 60 complete rotations in 1 minute, it becomes 60 rotations per minute. If it covers 100 rotations in 1 minute, it becomes 100 rotations per minute, so on and so forth. This can be considered to be as the angular velocity. Please remember, in any problem, even if the angular velocity is given to you in rotations per minute, it always needs to be converted into radians per second by multiplying the rotations per minute figure by 2 pi by 60. You have to convert the rotations per minute given figure into radians per second. Let's see how do we do it. So this is the equation. RPM into 2 pi upon 60 is equal to radians per second, whatever figure you get. So let's take an example and see how to convert 60 rotations per minute into radians per second. In the earlier slide, we had seen that to convert RPM into radians per second, we had to multiply the rotations per minute figure by 2 pi upon 60. So in this case, you have to take 60 into 2 pi by 60. So 60 into 2 pi by 60 is equal to 2 pi, that's equal to 2 into 3.142, that's equal to 6.284 radians per second. The next term that you would want to know is known as the centripetal force. This force is the most important force of all to help the body retain that circular motion or to remain in the circular path. If you break down the word centripetal into 2 parts, centri means center and petal means towards. So a force which is always directed towards the center and helps the body maintain a circular path is known as the centripetal force. The next term that you would be interested in knowing is known as angular velocity, represented by the Greek symbol omega. Angular velocity is defined as the ratio of angular displacement and time. Hence, we can write the angular velocity omega is equal to theta by t. We will now try and derive a relation between the linear speed v, the radius of the circular path r, and the angular velocity omega. So let's consider a body of any mass at the point A as shown in the figure. Let it go to the point B after a time t. In going from A to B, which is the arc equal to S, it is displaced by an angular displacement equal to theta. Let r be the radius of the circular path. Then by geometry, we know by that formula that arc of a circle, the length of the arc of a circle is equal to r times theta, or in other words we can write S is equal to r into theta. Let this be equation number 1. But we also know by the definition of angular velocity that angular velocity is equal to angular displacement upon time. So we get omega is equal to theta by t. Let this be equation number 2. But since omega is equal to theta by t, we can rearrange the terms and write theta is equal to w into t. That is be equation number 2. So what we can do is we can take this value of theta from equation number 2 and replace the theta in equation number 1 by the value omega t. So after that substitution, we get S is equal to r omega t. We'll just rearrange the term. We'll take the time t to the left hand side denominator and we can write S by t is equal to r omega. But we know by definition that distance upon time is equal to the velocity. Therefore, this equation can now be written as, so we can write the linear speed v is equal to radius of the circular path multiplied by the angular velocity omega. So v is equal to r omega. Please remember that the value of v will be given to you in meters per second. The value of r will have to be given to you in meters, and omega has to be given to you in radians per second. If it is not given that way, then you can do the conversion from whichever unit into meter per second, meters and radians per second.